I'm Matt Inzio, the Communications Director for the Colorado Department of Transportation.
And I'm Herman Stockinger, CDOT's Deputy Director. We're here to talk about digital accessibility, inclusivity, and how we as a department can improve our communications and business processes.
As a state agency, we have a unique responsibility to serve the needs of the entire public. Just like we have the responsibility to make sure that everyone in Colorado can travel between the places that they live, work, and recreate, we must make sure that our communications are broadly accessible so that everyone can receive the same information. And this is not just an idea that we have, but a state and federal mandate that we must meet.
Website accessibility is a hot topic across all agencies statewide, and it's something that's been around for a long time. Passed in 2021, House Bill 1110 requires state agencies to develop a plan that will meet federal requirements for website and digital accessibility as part of the Americans with Disabilities Act. CDOT's Procedural Directive 31.1 was also updated at the end of January this year to reflect these new requirements. So what does this mean? Any information that we provide via our websites and digital tools must meet the minimum requirements under state law. The goal is to accomplish this by July 1st, 2024, per state mandate. Communications and OIT has begun working with individual teams and external vendors to ensure we are meeting our accessibility standards.
This effort will require all of us to make thoughtful changes to the way we do business. It's important that we take these extra steps to ensure that everyone with disabilities can access our information just as anyone else can.
Hi, I'm Marcia Nelson, your Chief Equity Officer, and I'm here to explain how digital accessibility directly aligns with our efforts to ensure inclusivity and to create a Colorado for all. As a DOT, when we hear the word accessibility, we're used to how it applies to our roadways for pedestrians. In this context, accessibility refers to how anyone, regardless of ability, can still digitally access and understand what we do. This includes everything from written text in a document to spoken words in a video, even a digital sign in or on a CDOT building, to images and graphics in a presentation. Every user deserves a first-rate digital experience, and individuals with a disability must be able to experience our web-based services, content, and other digital products with the same successful outcome as those without disabilities. There is a wide range of people, from visitors to CDOT buildings, or even your colleagues who may need assistance and accommodations. These can include individuals who experience low or blind vision, hearing impairment, individuals with temporary or permanent physical injuries, individuals who suffer from cognitive impairments such as epilepsy or dyslexia, and even those who may have suffered from a stroke or life-altering health conditions. Language barriers are also another important consideration, as English may not be a person's first language. People who are blind need alternative text descriptions for meaningful images and use the keyboard and not a mouse to interact with interactive elements. People who are deaf or hard of hearing will need captioning for video presentations and visual indicators in place of audio cues. People with motor impairments may need alternative keyboards, eye control, or some other adaptive hardware to help them type and navigate on their devices. An uncluttered screen, consistent navigation, and the use of plain language are useful for people with different learning disabilities or impairments. The mission of the Office of Equity and Environmental Justice is to promote equitable access to and participation in CDOT programs and initiatives. And this includes helping to ensure our facilities, communications, and essential resources are accessible to all Coloradans. A large step we must take towards that goal is to make sure our materials are updated with the latest requirements. Digital accessibility is an extension of ADA principles to utilize assistive or adaptive technology. This awareness and commitment to inclusion is the goal of CDOT, to shine a light on digital access and inclusion for people with disabilities.
Hi, I'm Anna Mariotti, your new Chief Human Resources Officer. I want to tell you more about this new process and what it means to all of us as CDOT employees. Also, who we are helping by improving how we use and choose accessible tools and resources to do our jobs every day. You may not realize that somebody you work with might use assistive technology to help them understand day-to-day tools and online content better. In fact, you may not even realize some of these tools you use yourself. CDOT is a dynamic team of people from a wide variety of backgrounds, and some of these people may have a temporary, lifelong, or hidden disability. At CDOT, we all strive to be as equitable and inclusive as possible for all employees, regardless of ability. It's not just a part of our job as public servants, but it is the right thing to do for everyone in CDOT. As Marcia said, CDOT's commitment to equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility is a commitment to all. CDOT's Office of Employee Development is working on training opportunities that will help employees learn more about accessibility. This will include training on various topics, either on our new learning management system or on partnered learning platforms. For training requirements and help, please reach out to the Employee Development team through CDOT's Learning Lane.
We have a lot of work ahead of us to be compliant with the guidelines across all of our digital and communications tools, but we've been making some great strides over the last few months. The Office of Information Technology, as well as our own communications team, are building and deploying the training that's needed for our content producers and editors. We have several tools to set you up for success. They're on the CDOT Hub under the Accessibility tab for employees, and there you can find the answers on how to remediate your content and the templates that can guide you. So what do we mean when we say content? Well, every web page across all of our CDOT websites, documents, PDFs, maps, applications, videos, and all of the multimedia that can fall under this umbrella, just to name a few.
Hello, I am Keith Stefanik, CDOT's Chief Engineer. You just heard a bunch of valuable information on the new accessibility processes happening across CDOT. This affects not only the materials we create to be posted on websites, but also the tools and applications like maps and software we use to do business every day. We want to emphasize that this is a learning process for us all, and we hear you and understand that this will take some time for all of us to adjust our business processes to meet these requirements. As you evaluate your respective tasks and project needs, please remember to keep accessibility top of mind in your planning. The liability for not complying with these standards can be greatly reduced by being proactive and taking the necessary time to make the necessary changes.
Working together is the only way we're going to meet our accessibility goals. To reiterate, our deadline is July 1st, 2024, and being proactive now is imperative to achieving these goals.
If you need help understanding these requirements and what content of yours needs to comply, please reach out to either Felicia Michael for websites or Greg Miller for OIT business applications. Thank you for your support and for all you do to help ensure that we not only meet these goals, but also provide the best services possible for everyone.